Hello, welcome. Welcome to our very first ktropeathon 2025 live show. Woo! Today we have. Well, I'm sorry. What did you say, Tiffany?
I said we're pumped. As you can tell,
we're so pumped. We're caffeinated up. Deea's got her mug from Korea. Do you want to show us?
It's I don't know if you can see, but it lightly has like cranes on it.
oh, it's so pretty.
Pretty.
Yes.
So, and it has survived many moves.
That's a testament.
Yes, it is. High quality mug.
Yeah.
South Korea.
So welcome. Let us know if you're here. If you are enjoying something.
There's JoJo.
Hi, Joe. Welcome. Let us know if you're also enjoying something nice to drink today. And so originally I was having today's concept is recommending our favorite Korean translated literature. So this should be really fun. Originally when I was trying to conceptualize this, I was like, should it be books also about Korea? And I just thought that would widen it too much and we would just have so many recommendations. So we're sticking to translated lit for today. Maybe next year we can do books about Korea or something like that. Welcome, Molly.
Hi.
So we each have brought two of our favorites for you guys to discuss with you guys. So do you guys want to introduce yourselves before we get started? Tiffany, you want to go first as my co-host?
Sure. I'm Tiffany. My channel name is Beautiful Minutia, and I co-host this event with Christy every year. And it is one of my favorite events to co-host because it's just so fun. So I read a smattering of a little bit of everything on my channel, but I would say that I'm mostly concentrated in classic literature and fantasy, but I have been reading a ton of translated literature lately as well. So
nice. So this fits your vibe. Really.
It does, although I've been reading a lot of Japanese translated literature and a few Korean. So I love Japanese cozy literature. That's just like my jam right now.
I feel like we're still in the process of getting Korean translated lit, whereas we've had Japanese lit a lot longer and a lot more of it.
Yeah, so we're getting the genre fiction. We're just now starting to get a little bit of genre fiction from Korea and it not be just literary, like award-winning literary. That's kind of what we had in the past. So it's kind of nice to start to see some trickle of like cozy things and fantasy and horror and like some other things that are starting to come out. Is exciting.
Yeah.
Yes. How about you, Deea? Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Deea. Novel idea. I'm pretty much the same as Tiffany and as Christy. I read just about everything other than horror and romance. Those are pretty much out. But other than that, I do read pretty much everything, but concentrated mostly in classics and fantasy, science fiction.
Awesome. We're gonna have to kind of discuss our vibe with Korean literature, like what we tend to pick up with Korean literature and what we tend to like a lot, because I feel like each of us has a different vibe.
We do. So this is a great live for you to be on because no matter what kind of genre you're normally interested in, you're probably going to get a recommendation today because we're all kind of coming from different angles, which is really fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have any nonfiction on my list. So, which is odd for me. I do love nonfiction, but for some reason I don't have any on my list. So.
That reminds me of a nonfiction that I didn't even think of adding to our list. I might have to grab it off my shelves in a minute.
Good, actually. If no one has a nonfiction, you need to grab yours, Christy.
Okay, I will. I'll go grab it. But first, let's say hi to Penny. Welcome, Penny.
Hi, Penny.
And Tony's here.
Oh, wow,
Tony.
We finally have a morning live. Oh my gosh, yeah. Hey, Sarah. Welcome. Good morning.
Hey, Sarah. Ooh, let me know which
Nice.
Japanese cozies you're reading right now. I need to know.
And tell us about the Korean dystopian thriller too.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I guess we are here for Korean. Sorry.
Yeah. Korean dystopian. That's
all of the above.
their strength, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, that's a good point. Okay, we're gonna have to talk about that. But first, Crystal, welcome.
Yay!
Yes, thanks so much for having me on. I'm excited. So yeah, my name is Crystal. My channel is Fiber Artsy, where I do a lot about books, but I got some other things going on over there too. But I am your dark person. I am your horror and dark fiction,
Yes.
weird stuff, girly. So so that's my fun stuff. So that's what I like to read. But I read a whole bunch of stuff too. But I definitely lean into the dark and disturbing. So I'm excited to be here. So everybody's going to be recommended.
Yes.
And I love ktropeathon. It's one of my favorite events. So.
I feel like you're our biggest supporter. So thank you
Yes.
for all.
We love Crystal so much.
Yes.
I love you guys.
And if you don't follow, if you're a K-pop fan and you don't follow Crystal on Instagram, you need to, because every time she goes to a concert, and she goes to so many of them, she always uploads footage, and I feel like I'm living vicariously through all her concerts. So if you love K-pop, please go follow Crystal.
100%. Oh, so, and of course I'm Christy from Dostoevsky in Space. This is my channel. And as Deea mentioned, I do tend to read a lot of nonfiction, which is why I've read a lot of books about Korea. And I realized there is a nonfiction that I've read that was translated that's really good. So I will be talking about a nonfiction and also a really kind of dark. Amazon put it under thriller, but it's not. I wouldn't call it a thriller. It's more like literary fiction. So yeah, that's kind of my vibe. Tiffany and Deea, would you like to tell us your Korean literature kind of vibe, what you tend to go towards when you're reading those?
I would say I've mostly read literary fiction translated from Korean, just because that's what's most readily available, and that is one of what I have. But it does have kind of a little bit of a supernatural twist to it. And then the other one is actually a cozy Korean book that I'm so excited again that we're starting to get some genre fiction. Mm-hmm. So I just kind of the other one I'm going to recommend is a North Korean defector story, but it's fictional. So it seemed like it really fit, but it's one of my favorite translated books that I've read so far. So
excellent. How about you, Deea?
I tend more toward liking the cozy or quiet. One of the things that I love about Japanese translated literature, even when it's lit fic, and is that it just has this quiet kind of kindness to it, and so I look for that when I'm reading any Asian translated literature, but I do tend to like the things that are a little more cozy or fantastical.
Excellent. Okay, great. Yeah, very, very diverse tastes in this group, so that's perfect.
We can get a little bit of everything today, which I love. I think that was perfect. We have the best people on here, like all different range here.
Excellent. So here are the Japanese cozies that Joe has already read or is reading.
Is reading.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. I
replied. Sorry. I've read one of them and I liked it, and then the other one I just thought, because I mean, if there's a cat in the title,
yeah, I've heard really good things about "We'll Prescribe You a Cat."
Yeah,
so I'm excited to read that one. I haven't read that one yet. Butter. Didn't you read Butter, Christy? No. No, maybe not. I thought for some reason that you and Una had read it, but that must be
Lemon.
Lemon. Butter, lemon. They're both yellow. Whatever.
Lemon was an interesting one. It's not in my stack today. It's a little strange.
Well, lemon's not Korean, is it? Or
It
is it?
is.
Oh, it is. Okay. I thought for some reason it was Japanese. Butter, I think, is Japanese.
Okay.
That name looks Japanese.
It does. It does.
I've got butter. I think I've got it on hold on my Libby app. So we'll see when I get it actually. It comes in, I'd like to surprise you. It's like,
yes.
Report back, please.
Yeah.
Mimi needs to know.
Yes.
It's a newer release. So
Snow Globe is on my radar right now.
I want to read that one too. My friend Whitney, who also has a channel, she read it and she really liked it.
Whitney was the one that brought it to my attention because I was looking for a one-word title.
Oh, there you go. Christy's read it too, haven't you, Christy?
I did. I think it was for last ktropeathon. I read it and I just listened to it.
It's good. A duology.
Yeah.
I know.
The second one?
No, I didn't even know it was available
I think
yet.
it just came out. I think it just came out.
Okay.
I'm gonna order that. Thank you.
Snow Globe was one of our options for a group read last year, and it did not get chosen.
Oh, that's right. That's why I read it.
Okay.
It was my option for the group read. This year we did not give
mine
people
won last year, and I was really excited.
I was glad yours won. It was so good. Oh my gosh, the second one is just called Snow Globe too. Okay, awesome.
I know. I could have done a little better with that title.
All right, that was easy to find.
It's not a one-word title. It's technically 2 words. Sequel. Sequel Snow Globe 2.
So is the one-word title thing for Tiffany's
Summer Book Bingo.
Summer Book Bingo. Okay, perfect. Yes, awesome. I hope you guys enjoy it. I really enjoyed it. It was like 3-star enjoyment, and I definitely was eager to continue with the second one. Yes, me too. Now that I know of it. Thank you. Interesting.
That is
that sounds like a very Korean title.
It does.
It's a very lit-fic Korean title.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking this up now. I feel like I've heard of Youngha.
It's one on my list.
Ah, maybe I've heard of it from Crystal then. Maybe that's where
I have so many.
So many books, so little time.
I could spend a year reading Korean books and still not, I think, like complete my list.
Yeah. I think the one that Crystal talked about in her TBR, one of the ones was Your Republic is Calling, and I think it's by the same author, Kim Young-ha. So that's why I've heard of her before. Or him. I don't know.
Yeah, you posted that on Discord, didn't you, Crystal? Your Republic is Calling You.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really want to read that one.
Such a great cover, too.
It seems like a good spy story. Yeah.
Yeah, really fits the vibe this year.
Yeah.
Yes. So, thank you. This has been great. I'm already adding things to my TBR. Oh, interesting. About Korea. So, what translated books about Korea have you read, Tony? I'm very curious about that.
Yeah.
And any films that you would recommend, please do. Wow. Excellent. That's great to hear. All right. Hey, a friend, Crystal. Oh, yeah.
Yes, almond is Korean. I actually almost brought that today, but I didn't.
Excellent.
Almond is a good one. I read that one because of RM. So
I remember
my reading like RM vlog.
Reading like RM, yeah.
I feel like a lot of people read that because of RM.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good one. It's worth reading for sure.
Excellent. Hello, Pepsi Cola. Good
Hello.
day. It made me think of that too, Joe. I also
Mhm. That's one of the reasons why I was like, yeah, it sounds like a very Korean title.
I still haven't read that one. I've meant to.
I haven't either. I need
Same.
That one and Crying in H Mart have both been on my list for ages,
to.
but I haven't gotten to
Crying in
it.
H Mart is good.
I've heard nothing but good things about it, but
It's
it's
good.
just there's only so many books you can get to
I
at
know.
a time, you know?
I know. You gotta tell me.
I know you were just saying. We're all in such good company here.
Oh.
We can't afford to save it all for ktropeathon. We have to read it all year round.
Yeah, I do. I don't only read it in ktropeathon.
Yeah.
It's concentrated in ktropeathon.
Yep.
Why don't we get started recommending our favorites? Should we start with Crystal this time and go the other way around?
Start with me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Would you
Okay.
Keep you on your toes.
If you're ready.
I'm ready. I feel like you knew this is going to be my favorite. This is one of my favorite all-time books ever. When I read it, is Kim Ji-young, born 1982. This is by Cho Nam-ju. Let me get you the translated information. I should have had that ready. I wasn't ready. Translated by Jamie Chang. And I have now read this book 3 times. I'm not a big rereader, so when I reread a book, I love it. And I love this book because, well, for many reasons, but for me, it is. For me personally, I never felt more seen in a book, and I sob uncontrollably every time I read it. But anyway, and it is just this life. It's presented to us the life of Kim Ji-young, who was born in 1982 in South Korea, and it goes through her life, as a childhood. We spend time with her as sort of a young adult, as she's getting married, as she becomes a mother, and the things that she went through as being a woman, living in South Korea, which to me echoes moving through the world as a woman anywhere. I think a lot of women can see themselves, I think, at some point in this story, because of things that you just kind of deal with, as a woman, just kind of like I said, just moving through the world, just existing as a woman, from these small little microaggressions to really big things that we deal with, I think especially for Kim Ji-young when she becomes a mother. That's what I just was like, it really just like came home for me there. And what I love about it is the way it's written, because it's almost, I hate to say, not boring, it's not the word, but it's just presented to us in this really sort of like, this is her story. Like, it's not glamorized, it's not, it's not overwrought, overwritten or anything like that. It's just, this is her life. And I think, like I said, it just echoes the life of so many women. And I think it is very eye-opening, I think, to a lot of people that would maybe choose to read it. I think especially I would love for men to read this book, but yeah, I think it's just the connections that we make, just oh yes, this rings true for me. Oh gosh, yes, I've dealt with this in my life. So for me, it's just, like I said, it just resonated with me just so much. And it catapulted to just an all-time favorite book. So I highly recommend this book, really. Just give it a go. It's really not very long. And I think at some point that you could connect with it at some time. And I love it. I love it so much. I don't even know what to say, but I love it so much. But yeah, I don't know. I love it. So read it. And what I love is this cover. So when I read somewhere, I don't remember now where I read it, but Kim Ji-young is like a really common name. It's kind of maybe like a Sally Smith here. So, it's a very common name. And then I love this cover because she's presented as faceless. And so that's why I think is like women could put their face here and see themselves in this story. And so it's just powerful to me. I love this book. I'll never stop talking about this book. I love it. So yeah, that's my first recommendation. Read it.
Impassioned. We love it.
Tabs are a testament to how much you love it. That's a lot of tabs for a short book. So that is really
I
was just gonna say
I'm not even a tabber. I'm not a tabby person either. You know what I mean? But Yeah. Oh, I loved it.
I was just gonna say, if there's any tabs that you want to share, like if we give you a little more time, if you want to go share any of them, we'd love to hear. I feel like she's very like she writes like quotidian kind. I was trying to think of the right word. It's almost like pedestrian experiences of women. It's like just everyday stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is the everyday life, but like I said, it's those, the misogyny that you deal with every day. I mean, there is a feminist tone to this book, because of, I think it's just like presenting these little things that, women just deal with on a day-to-day basis, whether we like it or not, you know what I mean? And, even if, when it talks a lot about like her young childhood, because she has an older sister and then a younger brother, and the younger brother was, of course, favorited so much more, got the best cuts of meat, the better clothes, whereas Kim Ji Young just got hand-me-downs and things like that, or had to share things with her sister, when the brother, even though he was younger, got the one thing to himself. I mean, things like that, which I feel like if you're of a certain age here in America, you probably deal with that too. Yeah, I don't know. It's just good. I like it.
I was just reading a book that's set in China, and it talks about how like women were frequently named like waiting for younger brother. Basically, it would be the translation and things like that.
Wow,
like a whole other level of what we would think of as misogyny.
Yeah. Well, how when she was born, the grandmother was basically like, oh, to her mom, oh, I'm sorry. Maybe the next one will be a boy. Could you imagine like someone thinking about your birth that way? Like that your life is just like already like just not as good just because you were born, Yeah. Anyway, yeah. That's good.
Oh, bravo, Pepsi Cola.
A man is going to read it because of you, Crystal.
Thank you.
I love it.
I also am going to read that. And my Korean Unni, she also loved it. And so because of her and Crystal, I'm like, I really need it. So, but I read her.
Heard a bad thing about it. I've heard a lot of K-pop idols recommend it as well.
Yeah.
A lot of K-pop idols got in, hot water for reading it, because how dare they read, somewhat feminist tinged literature in South Korea?
Yeah.
I'm not salty about it, but anyway.
That's salty.
And wasn't it like the girls who recommended it?
Oh, yeah.
But the guys were like applauded.
Praised. Yes, of course. Oh my gosh, look at him. Exactly, but the girls were like, ew, I'm not your fan anymore. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyways, I did read her. She has a book of short stories as well that's more recent, and I read that one just because it was really new, and I was like, I want to read the new thing, the shiny thing, and it was well worth a read. I really love how it shines a spotlight on women of all generations, including older, like grandmothers. There's several stories that explore the grandmother's point of view, and that's a little bit rarer, I find, in literature. So that was really cool.
That's a great follow-up once you read this to read Miss Kim Knows. I think is what you're talking about. Right?
Yeah, Miss Kim Knows. Yeah. Thank you. I couldn't,
because it's just kind of more of the same, like stories of women through different age groups, and just kind of their life, Yeah. It's good.
Awesome. Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you.
And if you find any quotes you want to share, please do.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, films you'd recommend. I'm gonna check these out, Tony. Thank you. One of my all-time favorite films about Russia that I ever watched was one that Tony recommended. So
that one sounds hilarious. Extreme Job sounds very funny.
Yes. Oh, nice. Very neat. Yeah, it does have a really good depiction of grief. It's like the artist. Oh, do you remember what music artist was that who wrote "Crying in H Mart"? Do you remember the author?
I don't.
Michelle.
Zahner? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like a Korean American rock star, basically. And she's grieving for her mom in Crying Nature. Oh, good. I think I've heard
I
of
own that one, but I haven't read it yet. The story of my life.
That's why. I feel like it's been on my ktropeathon TBRs, and because of you, Tiffany.
It was on my TBR last year, and then I didn't get to it. So
We'll have to read it this year. Maybe, I don't know. Did Crystal, did you mention that one to you previously? The Good Son? Yes.
I might be chatting about it later.
oh,
Yeah.
that's exciting. A little foreshadowing.
Perfect. Oh, Aimless Bullet. Excellent.
Brilliant but bleak.
I'm actually reading a book right now about Korean filmmakers that was recommended by the husband of the author of Banned Book Club, which is a fantastic graphic novel that's also set in Korea, written and illustrated by Koreans. It's a memoir about a student who she lived through the burgeoning democracy movement in South Korea under their military dictator of a president. And so her husband is the one I interviewed on this channel last year. And he recommended a Kim Jong-il production. And it's about a filmmaker and his actress wife who are kidnapped by North Korean agents so that they can film a film in North Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm listening to it right now, and it's really interesting.
That sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So speaking of Korean films, I feel like I'm going to get to know them through this. Okay. Sorry, everyone. We're behind on the comments. Yes, Sarah.
I just started that last night, Sarah Esther.
Yes. I saw that. I'm really excited to hear you guys' thoughts on that.
I like it so far, but I'm only 2 chapters in, so it's early yet, but I like it so far a lot.
Maybe it'll be on next year's favorites list. Mm-hmm. Nice. Excellent. Oh, yep, we already saw that one. Sorry. The Sea Village. Nice.
Oh.
I'm saving all of these. Oh, interesting.
Oh, I haven't seen that, but I've heard good things about it.
The title is so clever.
Have you watched that one, Crystal? When Life Gives You Tangerines? Okay.
Not yet. Mm-mm. Dramas are the same amount of list as my books.
Yeah.
Never ending.
Hey, Victoria.
I go through drama slowly.
Very.
I think it's not the norm, but sometimes I'm watching one with Christy, and then I usually watch one with my husband, but it's like 1 episode a week that we watch during at-home date night, and so it takes us forever to get through a drama. But it's kind of fun. Mm-hmm. It's like feels nostalgic, like when you used to have to wait a week for a new episode. That's basically what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can look forward to it all week.
Yes, we do.
Jenna.
Hi,
Happy Saturday and welcome. Excellent, excellent. Okay, awesome. Shall we move on? Deea, do you want to go?
Yes. There might be a little background noise. James just got up.
Hi, James.
Hi, James.
Okay, I wasn't going to start with this one, but I will start with this one. It's one I just read. This is Rainfall Market.
Nice.
And it is Yu Young Guang. Is that the way that you would say that?
Yu Young Guang, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And translated by Slin Zhang. It's one of those that is a little bit more hard-hitting than just simple cozy. So there's some depth to it, I guess I should say. It is about a young girl who is, her sister has run away. She doesn't have a lot of friends at school. Her parents are, she doesn't know like who her dad is, but her mom, or maybe her dad has passed away. I can't remember which one, but she just doesn't have a lot of talent. She's not really gifted in anything. She's just this normal everyday girl who is very poor. Her mom works all the time, and she gets the opportunity to go to the Rainfall Market. Rainfall Market is a place where dreams can come true. Mm-hmm. And so she is accepted as a candidate to go, and she has to go the day that rainy season begins, and she has to leave the market by the time the rainy season is over. And while she is there are these, it's almost like it's a parallel universe inside of the market. And so there are these creatures that kind of populate the market, and she also ends up with a animal companion for her journey through the time that she's there. And it is absolutely delightful. But then on top of that, it just kind of talks you through some of the things that might happen if your dreams came true. So it's I want to be wealthy. Well, what does that look like? And you get handed this little orb, and they're all different colors, and that is significant. But you get handed this orb, and her animal companion is actually the one that helps her see what the dream is in the orb. And it's really unique, and I'm not going to tell you how it happens. It's so fun. But anyway, the orb then kind of plays out what that dream would look like if it were to come true in your life. And so you get to see like the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, all of that. And so she goes through like 5 or 6 different scenarios of, maybe I don't want that. Maybe I want this. And so she goes through all of these. And then the end of it, when she is leaving, is just as powerful as the moments when she's walking through the market. I just really enjoyed it. It was amazing. It's also very, very well translated. So it still feels like a translated work. It doesn't flow quite the way it would if it was English first language, but it is still absolutely easy to understand, easy to follow, unique. And it's like the creatures and everything that are within the market are so fun. And yeah, it was just really wonderful. I loved it.
Wow. That sounds fabulous.
A fun little plug for Crystal's Discord. She's doing like translated Asian literature, like bi-monthly reads this year in her Discord, and Rainfall Market is November and December, right, Crystal?
I think so, yeah. I think it's at the end of the year. Mm-hmm.
So if you want to read it and you haven't yet, and you want to read it with people, there you go.
You're welcome to join us. Just know we talk a lot about K-pop on there, so.
It is like the most active Discord. I'm always behind on it, but sometimes I just scroll through and watch all the fun stuff people share.
Yeah. Oh, that's super exciting, because I was really getting into that description. I was like, when am I going to fit this in? Oh my God.
November and December.
November and December. That's when.
Sounds so great.
It's also not super long, so it's an easy one to get through.
Yes.
That sounds lovely. Sounds good.
Excellent. Thank you, Deea. Oh, Jana's already read it. She's tried it. Wasn't her cup of tea. And same with Marigold Mind Laundry. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't like Marigold Mind Laundry either.
I was gonna say I feel like Deea read that one recently.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like that one. But I did like Rainfall Market, and I didn't think I was going to at the beginning of the book. So
Okay.
I just read it last month. So
Agreed. All right. Oh, and Tony's gonna move it up his TBR as well. Awesome.
Yay.
Crystal, you are making conquests here.
Crystal, the influencer.
Yes. Awesome. How about you, Tiffany?
Okay, so my first one, this is going to be my absolute favorite translated Korean literature that I've read so far. I'm starting with number one. And it actually, you can't even see that. I don't know. There we go. It's Princess Body by Hwang Suk-young. So this fits really well with this year's theme if you're looking to read a book that is about North Korea, but you want to read a translated work as well. This is about a young girl who's born in North Korea, and then she ends up defecting throughout the course of the story. It starts feeling almost fairy tale or folklore like because she's actually named after like a fairy tale character. I think she's like the 6th or 7th daughter. And everyone's really disappointed she's not a boy. Kind of like what Crystal was talking about. Everyone's very disappointed she's not a boy. But there's kind of like this almost like every one of his books that I've read so far has like this supernatural element to it as well. So she ends up getting a job as like a masseuse, but she's able to feel people's emotion and pain and trauma and help them work through that. So there's like this interesting, almost like spiritual connection that she has with her clients. And it goes throughout like her adjusting after defecting. It's honestly quite bleak and kind of difficult to read at times. But part of the reason I loved it so much was for its uniqueness in that it blends the horror of North Korea and defecting with almost like this supernatural and fairy tale element at the beginning. It doesn't really stay very fairy tale-esque, but the supernatural element continues throughout. And then also, Hwang Suk-young is the best translated prose that I have read so far. Like his prose is really beautiful. And it doesn't tell me who the translator is anywhere. I was looking while you guys were sharing yours. It's not on the back. It's not on the front. It's not inside. I don't know who translated this, but they did an excellent job. Because sometimes when you read a piece of translated literature, there are certain phrases or things that you're like, what? Because it just doesn't quite translate quite as well. But like his prose is beautiful. It's not utilitarian like a lot of translated literature that I've read. It's really, really beautiful. So I've read one of his, this was the first ktropeathon I read this, and now I've read one of his books every ktropeathon. And one more plug for Crystal's Discord. We're reading At Dusk by him for ktropeathon, essentially. So I'm just going to keep plugging Crystal's Discord. If you don't join by the end, then you know, I'm sorry, I can't help you.
Amazon says the translator is Sora Kim Russell.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, because it was weird that it's not anywhere, like it's not on the title. It's like nowhere in here. But it's kind of bleak. It's sad, which all of his books that I've read are, but it's so beautifully written, and it was so like emotionally impactful for me. So,
yeah,
awesome.
I agree about the prose. By the way, it's the best prose I've ever translated Korean I've ever read. So
Deea read this book and then mailed it to me. So
because I did not want it on my shelf.
He did not love it. So if you need hope and happiness in your stories, this might not be a book for you.
Yeah, redemption.
You've been warned, but I felt like it was so worth the read. I kept it on my shelf, so it helped something.
I knew you would like it better than me.
I'll type in the title in the comments because
sounds dark, so I like it.
You will. I think you would love it, Crystal.
I
it's only
The folklore element at the beginning, I absolutely loved. I was there for it. And I was even there for it when hard things began happening in the story. It was only once she defected that I was like, okay, I don't really want to. Yeah, I was Betty reading it, or I probably wouldn't have finished it.
But I benefited from her dislike. So, and she took notes in the margins, so I could see what she thought of everything. So that was kind of fun.
Thank you for putting this in the chat. That's
Yeah.
perfect. Yes, excellent. I want to just also plug Hwang Sok-young because I was gonna be talking about one of his books, and then it got bumped when we decided, oh yeah, I should talk about nonfiction. So his writing is really spectacular. I haven't read. I just downloaded At Dusk, which is Crystal's book club book for this month, to start tonight. So I'm very excited to give him another shot because Familiar Things was just so beautifully written, so touching. I cried. It's really, really good. So.
Also, that one also has a little bit of a supernatural element to it as well. And I read that one for ktropeathon last year, Familiar Things. So very different setting, very different story, but really good.
Here, I have that. If anyone's looking for the,
Yeah,
I have it sitting over here because I got it from the library to read. So if you're looking for what the cover looks like, there's At Dusk.
I don't think it's very long.
And it's another, it's another shorty.
This one is a little longer than that one, but it's 250 pages, so it's still
It's
not
like 188 pages. So yeah.
That
very
is one
doable.
thing that I have loved about Korean literature. Translate. It's nothing is super long.
Yeah.
Japanese literature too. Yeah, like I found a lot of Asian literature. It's really easy and to
it's
get
like
through.
an economy of words, but like very impactful at the same time. You know,
can do a lot with a little bit of words. I appreciate authors that can do that. That they're not just waxing poetic only to wax poetic. You know.
Right.
Yes. Agreed. I don't know if y'all saw this, but Victoria is joining Crystal's Discord now.
That is my
through
goal.
the K-pop things.
That's my goal today, is to get people to join Crystal's Discord. Crystal's goal is to get people to read Kim Ji-young, but my goal is to make people join Crystal's Discord. Mission accomplished. We're both doing so good, Crystal.
Hey, well, everyone's welcome. So.
Oh, yay! Jaina's favorite so far has been our group read from last year. That's awesome.
Oh, fun!
That was good.
It was a good one.
So good. All right. Oh yes, we will put a link.
I just shared it in the chat too. It's did post? I don't know why. We'll try it again.
I don't know.
It's not letting me post links. That's rude. Okay.
We'll put it. Yeah, we'll comment it under the live once it goes.
Oh,
live.
that's a good idea.
Excellent. Okay, awesome. Well, I will go ahead and share mine for now. So I wanted to talk about a book that my Korean 언니 also recommended to me. And that is one of I feel like this one's really famous because the author, Han Gang, won, was it the Nobel Prize for Literature? I can't remember.
I think it was. I can't remember for sure.
I read it around
one of you. I knew Crystal or Christy was going to share some Hong Kong at some point. One of you two.
I almost did.
That's what I figured. That's Crystal's
Yeah, I was going to say
vegetarian.
For everything I know about the vegetarian, that would totally be Crystal's vibe.
Yeah, it's one of my faves too.
Yep.
So I haven't read The Vegetarian yet. My 언니 said start with this one, and I did, and I'm really glad that I did. So this book is called Human Acts, and it's about it's a Gwangju uprising story. So if you're familiar with the Gwangju uprising, it was also part of the democracy movement. I just am fascinated by that theme in South Korea, the way that they moved from a kingdom to being occupied, to being under dictatorship, to now being a democracy that's flourishing, like one of the biggest economies in the world. That whole story is fascinating and inspiring. And this was a really important moment in that journey. And it's a moment that we're waiting for North Korea to have as well. South Korea leading the way. And so we are following several characters who were impacted by the Gwangju uprising, which was basically a massacre that the government massacred student protesters who were protesting peacefully. And it kind of shows the impact of that on the lives of the people who experienced it. And so it's very dark. I don't know why Amazon calls it a thriller exactly, but it is written it's like very taut storytelling.
Tense,
like
yeah.
you get, it's very tense. Have you read it too, Deea?
No, but I started to.
Yeah. I was thinking it's probably not. I was thinking it wasn't as bad for much. It was extremely compelling, and like it releases the clues of what's happening very slowly. So, and the writing is really unique. Like there's a second person, perspective. And I found it, there's also some really grotesque scenes with kind of a magical realism element. I don't know what a better word for that would be to use. I've heard that that's not the best term to use when you're talking about translated literature, but maybe it's, I know that many Koreans do believe in ghosts. Like I think a lot of Americans believe in ghosts too, but it's a really strong part of Korean literature a lot of times, ghosts and supernatural. So there's an element of that to this. But other than that, it's extremely real, like realism. And she based the story on a true story of somebody who was at the protests, and their story is really, really heartbreaking. And she learned about it as a kid when she lived in the area of Gwangju. So she's writing it about something she experienced. So it was really from the heart, I would say. And it just blew me away. I was like, what did I just read? I filmed a review of it. I haven't posted it yet, but hopefully I can get it up this month. And also if the whole thing with South Korea that happened where their last president, not the one that was just elected, but the one before that who got impeached, when he tried to impose military rule, it reminded me a lot of what happened here historically. So this is historical fiction with a touch of the supernatural, and I would definitely recommend it. It's definitely my favorite thing that I've read that has been translated so far. Very grim, but I kind of like grim. I don't know.
Well, it's
but
realistic, like it's what people were really going through.
Mm-hmm. I don't know exactly. I get a little bit confused about my taste sometimes because I tried to read Princess Bari and I was like, this is so grim. It's too grim for me. But like, I've read so many North Korean defector memoirs. I was like, but those are, so I don't know why this one was okay for me. Maybe because I didn't know the story at all. And so I wasn't in my head about it. It was like everything I read was a total shock. I didn't know about anything that was going to happen. So I think I was really gripped by it for that reason. But yeah, normally if I know something's going to be that heartbreaking, it takes me a while to build up my courage and read it.
I wonder too with you not being able to read Princess Bari is like North Korean defector memoirs, that they made it.
Yeah.
That it's going to be okay. And with a fictional book, you don't know that it's going to be okay in the end or not. And so I think that adds like a layer, as opposed to someone telling their own story. You're like, well, they're telling the story so they live to tell us.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. There's an inherent positivity to a North Korean
Yeah.
memoir because they're the success story, you know?
And they have more hope usually. It usually ends with more hope.
Yeah.
They made it.
That's true. Thank you. But yeah. Oh, nice. So Joe has read The White Book. I want to read that one too.
Oh, that's a good one.
Have you read that one?
Yeah, it's a really good conversations around grief. Kind of exploring grief in a story. It's good. How it kind of permeates your life, and it kind of pop up, sometimes how it just comes on, Yeah. It's good.
Nice. Awesome. All right. Crystal, do you want to go again?
Oh, yes.
You're ready this time.
I'm ready this time. So I did want to bring, a little darkness to the chat, So I did want to recommend The Good Son. This is by Yu Jong, and it is a dark story. So if you're, into, dark stories like me, you would like this. And we're following a young man. Let's see, what's his name? Yeah, Eugene. And he is someone who experiences sort of like blackout due to like a medical condition. So he lives with his mom. And I think it's like a little coastal town from what I remember. And right at the beginning of the book, he wakes up in the morning and he's, waking up, and then he's like, something seems off and there's blood everywhere. And so he's like making his way through the house, and then he finds his mother dead in the floor and there's just blood everywhere. So she's obviously been, pretty brutally murdered. And but it starts this story of like, okay, what happened, of course. Did he have anything to do with this or not? Because did he have an episode or not? He has like flashes of memory, but he doesn't really remember anything because of his sort of history of this medical condition that he has. And so it starts this sort of like, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Speedy kind of story that takes place, I think, just really over a few days of him trying to like figure out what's going on with his mom, and also trying to like evade police while trying to help police, while like not trying to make himself a suspect, but maybe he is a suspect. So there's this really unknown, it's a psychological story, and of him we're just trying to figure out what happened to his mom. And so there's definitely, of course, darkness to this story, but I really enjoyed it, and it's very gripping. It pulls you in because you definitely want to know what's going on and what happened to his mom, and to be so brutally murdered. And I really enjoyed this. So if you're looking for something on the darker side, I would definitely recommend this one. The Good Son by Yu Jung. Let me get the translator. Sorry, I did forget. Translated by Chi Young Kim. So it's good.
Nice. I looked up the Korean pronunciation because I was like, Yu Jung, like, and in Korean it would be Jung Yu Jung because Jung is the last name. So it has a nice symmetry in Korean.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yes, darkness has entered the chat.
Tis me.
Tis I. I love it.
She is here, and her name is Crystal. All right, Deea, you want to go again?
Sure. This is another one I've just read, and I wouldn't say that it's a favorite, but I have a feeling the other ones that I would say are favorites are going to get talked about, so I'll leave it at that. So this is Blood of the Old Kings. Can you see it? It's shiny. And it's by Sung Il Kim, and it's translated by Anton Her. And this is the story of a kingdom that is based on necromancy and dead sorcerers are the lifeblood of the kingdom. And so their corpses are wrapped in chains and connected to different things throughout the kingdom that then allow that king of whichever kingdom it is. There are several kingdoms within the kingdom, or empire, maybe you would call it. But anyway, they use all of the magic. Once the magic from that corpse is gone, they discard it and get another one. And they look for children throughout the kingdom that have magical ability. They're raised within a certain order or house in the empire that then that's their whole job, is to get as good of magic as they can, so that when they die, they can be chained to something in the kingdom. And then there's a side kind of story that is about a woman who is just a commoner, but her family has been accused of something and then killed as a result of it, and she's out for revenge. And in doing that, she allies herself to the blood of the old kings, which were dragons. And so the dragons were once the rulers of this empire. And so she aligns herself with this one particular dragon. And it does have a little bit of body horror in it, in case you couldn't tell, between the corpses and what happens with the dragon. I'm not going to, I won't go into it, but it does have to do with eyeballs. So if you have an eyeball thing,
I can't do eyeballs, man.
And it not only happens initially, but then every time the connection between her name is Lauren, but every time there's a connection between her and the dragon, there's a kind of thing that happens all over again. So it's not just once and done. It's not like, oh, I'll just skip this page. No, it's going to happen again. So anyway, but I just thought that it was so unique. Like, I had never quite heard of this particular plot before. I had never thought, there are 4 main characters. There's the one that's out for revenge. There's a very young sorceress who is like trying to break free so that she doesn't have to become a ball and chain, basically. And there's a dead sorcerer who seems to be able to kind of speak to her. And so she like rescues him, only to find out he's an evil dude. And then there's also one other guy that is involved in the main city within the empire, and he's not from there. He's from a different land, the same land where the one who is trying to get revenge is from. So there's kind of, you know, that they're all going to come together somehow, but but it didn't happen in the first book. It's a duology, at least. I don't know if it's going to be more than that, but if it leaves you in this spot of, okay, all right, I need to know more. I really need to know more. So it was fun. It was a good one, but dark.
Sounds good.
See, I do dark once in a while. When it's completely unbelievable. There's no chance this is reality at all.
Exactly.
I can do dark.
Yeah, that sounds super interesting for sure.
Is the sequel out for that one? Like, is it translated yet?
Let me see. Bleeding Empire is the name of the thing. Blood of the Undying Throne is the sequel, and oops, why did it do that? There we go. I don't. October 28th.
Oh, okay.
So it's coming out. It's not.
So if you were to
not
read
out
it now, you don't have to wait that long to find out what
Right.
happens. Or you can wait till October when you read it.
yet. Yeah.
And binge read both of them.
Yeah.
What was the name of it again? I forgot that quick.
Blood of the Old Kings.
Blood of the Old King. Okay. I should probably write it down.
And the name of the
I'm writing it down.
duology is The Bleeding Empire.
Again, I
sharing
love
later.
that we are getting genre fiction from Korea.
Mhm.
I love it because I know they have it. It just hasn't been translated.
That's one. Yeah, I definitely have not read a lot of fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. If any, I'm trying to think if I haven't read any.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that too. It's like a high fantasy. It's
Yeah.
like there's there's been fantasy elements to a lot of things that I've read from Korea, but like a high fantasy? No, I have not read one.
Right.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Specific kind of magic. It's well described, like the rules of it.
Mm-hmm.
Although you don't know, there's also, I guess, a sense of soft magic in the fact that the sorcerers are just born. They're not taught the magic. So you don't know why certain people have magic and others don't. At least not yet. Maybe we'll find out.
Awesome. Thank you, Deea.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tiffany, you want to go again?
Yeah. So my next one's very different from my first one, and it's actually very cozy and definitely has like fantastical elements. And also, Crystal read this on her Discord too. And it's the Dollar Get Dream department store, which I just read last month. So a lot of people have probably heard of this one, but I just thought that this was so fun and so unique. This is set in a world that's basically in the subconscious of humanity. So when you fall asleep, you can end up in this world and go to this dream department store where you can purchase a dream that you will dream. And so there are different floors in this department store, and different floors sell different types of dreams. So, you have your classic flying dreams, which are often sold out because they're so popular. But then it goes into kind of the world of dreams, which is really fun. And there's a lot of quirkiness and a lot of humor and interesting things to it that I really enjoyed, like the fact that people pay for these dreams, like the currency is emotion. So the feelings that you feel when you wake up are the currency of these dreams. So it kind of goes into like some of the world of dreams, but then it goes like a step further and talks about some specific dreams that bring like kind of like depth to normal human things. Like people can purchase precognitive dreams that will tell a little bit of the future. And so it talks about, people who want to know what's going to happen and things like that. There are people who experience nightmares that help them process through trauma in their lives. And so there's like a depth to it as well. It's not just quirky and fun. There are moments of just like insight, just on what it means to be a human that I really appreciated and thought was really well done. And I just thought it was just really fun and really unique. I've never read a book that is solely centered on like dreams. So I just thought it was a really fun imagining, but it also had enough depth that it made it feel like this wasn't just a fluffy read, although there is a lot of coziness and quirkiness to it too. So I really, really liked this one.
Yeah, that was good.
It felt a little bit like like designers of games, these dream makers, we're like game designers for like video games. That's what
and they all have really fun, like kind of really funny names. There's one of them that's listed. Oh, like one of them's named Baby Nap Rockabye. So I mean, there's some really good humor in there, but yeah, there are people who they've won awards for designing the best dreams. They have like essentially, it's almost like the Oscars, where they show these spectacular dreams, and
Yeah,
someone wins every year. So
I love that one. It's one of my favorites too.
it was really fun. Yeah, Deea actually sent me that book, so thank you.
I sent you both the books you shared today.
Yes, you did. And she also just sent me the Rainfall Market too. She is like fueling.
I'm like her Korean translated pimp.
Yeah, you're the dealer.
Book pimp.
Yeah. I love it.
And there's a follow-up to that one now too.
Yes,
Yes,
the sequel
yeah.
to it just came out. And it's not one that it doesn't leave you on a cliffhanger like Deea's. And in fact, if I were to tell you a lot of the things that happen in the book, I can't really spoil the plot for you because it's not really, it doesn't really have one. It's kind of like exploring this world. So if you love the world and you love the characters, because the characters are really quirky and vivid and fun, then you'll probably, I would assume you'd like book 2. You can read that too. I haven't read it yet, but
it's Dallargate Dream Making District is the name of it.
Super fun. Very different from the other one I recommended.
Who's the translator on that one? I don't.
Oh, the translator is Sandy Jusun Lee, and the author is Mia Lee. I forgot to mention that. Sorry.
I really thought your second one might be the group pick from last year. So I was like, oh.
No, I like this a lot better than the group pick from the last year. But I did like last year's group pick too. So
wow. That was like a 5-star read for me.
No, it was like 3.5 maybe. It was not a 5-star for me.
I liked it, I think, a little more than Tiffany did though.
Yeah.
I liked Human.
Still was really good. I still enjoyed it. That one's also cozy, but it's much more real. The Dallargate Dream Department Store is not real. It's very like magical.
Straight fantasy.
Yeah. But the one from last year, Welcome to Hunamdong Bookshop, that one is very, very real world. And it's still really good.
Dallargate feels more sci-fi to me than fantasy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think because of the fact that it feels like current day. And then you're just like the technology of the dream makers, that you can buy this dream kind of thing. It feels technologically kind of thing instead of fantasy to me.
Yeah. I don't know how to classify it exactly. I kind of was thinking maybe magical realism because it does take place in modern day, but you don't really see very much of the real world.
Yeah, it feels almost like portals though. The dreams themselves.
I can see that. Yeah.
Maybe kind of like Matrix where you're like jacked into a dream.
Yeah.
But you get to choose where you're going and stuff.
But far more cozy than the Matrix.
Yes, more cozy.
Awesome.
All right, Christy, your turn.
Oh, I'm taking so many notes, you guys. Thank you.
We get a really wide range here. I love it. I love that.
Okay. Okay, my last one. Sorry, I had to write this down before the thought disappeared. I also The Human Axe was translated by Deborah Smith, which I don't think I ever paid attention to that. So thank you guys for mentioning the translators because I just forgot to even mention that. So the other one that I wanted to talk about was A History of Korea by Kyung-Moon Hong, which there actually is an audiobook for this now, which is super exciting. I need to go back and listen to it, but I annotated this like extensively. So Jen sent this to me for my birthday one year, and it's been precious to me for that reason. But also it was the first history that I read of Korea, and it's fairly short, just like all the translated literature it tends to be. So I feel like it skips over a lot of like the more commonly known stuff in Korean history, and it kind of talks more in depth about things you might not have heard as much about. So that's pretty interesting. You might want to start with something like more beginner friendly if this is your first one, but I didn't. I started with this one and I loved it and it was great. So yeah, I thought this was really helpful, especially paired with Banned Book Club, which was a graphic novel that was really digestible version of some of the more modern history in Korea, but this covers more than modern history. So the chapters, it starts all the way in 612. So it starts fairly early in Korean history. And the chapters are really short. So you feel like, oh, I made progress today. I read an entire chapter. So
I love it.
history is something you struggle with, you know, this could be doable for you. I could probably count on one hand the number of like straight history books I've read since graduating from school. And I finished this one. So it's readable and accessible, especially now that it has an audiobook as well. So yeah, I would recommend this for sure, especially when paired with Banned Book Club, for something a little more pacey. But this will give you more breadth in your history. And so really interesting, and I would recommend.
Yay.
History of Korea by Kyung Moon Hwang.
I love it.
Wow.
Let's go.
Yeah. We made it.
Yay.
And we're only a little over an hour. I'm so proud of us. So thank you, ladies, so much. This was excellent. Do we want to maybe share? I did not give you guys this heads up before, but do you want to maybe share like your next Korean translated book that you're like on
Looking to read?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Well, I got I'm reading this month, Human Acts. So
Yay.
it's Hanggang I have not read yet, so I'm finally gonna dig into this. So sometime this month, for sure.
That is exciting.
Well, like Sarah Esther, I am currently reading Second Chance Convenience Store, but I also have At Dusk that I'm going to read.
Oh yeah, that one too. Yeah.
As well, and I'm super excited about that because Hwang Suk-young's prose is like my favorite, so I'm so excited to read another one of his books. So those are the kind of the two translated ones that I have on deck for right now.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
But Rainfall Market's coming as well soon.
Yes.
I might wait till November so I can read it with Crystal. Join her Discord in case you didn't hear me say that yet.
You should tell us, Crystal, what the next couple of books are. So we know Rainfall Market is November, December.
At Dusk is this month and next month, July and August.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think it's Under the Banyan Tree.
Okay.
Is whatever that month is. What is that?
September, October.
September, yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the month, and that is. I don't think it's translated, but it is I think it's Vietnamese.
Okay.
It's a Vietnamese story.
So you don't
remember
just do Korean. You do Asian.
It's just we just kind of pick some Asian authors, Asian stories we wanted to read. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. I have some that are about to be published that I would like to try. The Wizard's Bakery is one, and it's by Byung Mo Gu.
I'm sold by the title already.
I know, right?
Me too.
Yeah, it's like,
the Hakuda Photo Studio is another one, and that's by Her Taeyeon. I don't know how to say these in English very well. Her Taeyeon, Taeyeon. And then the Moonglow Bookshop by Dongwon Seo.
Thank you. You have done some research. Thank you.
Yes.
I keep a like revolving list. On this side, books I've read. On this side, books I want to read. And then I have another one of these as well. The Hen Who Dreamed She Could Fly is one that I think most people have read because it's so tiny. But that author, Sunmi Huang, also has The Dog Who Dared to Dream and The Miracle on Cherry Hill. And so I have those requests in at the library. I don't know if I'll get them or not, but I have them in at the library.
Wow, thank you.
Oh, one more. The Impossible Fairy Tale. That's another one that I requested from the library. Han Yuju.
Ooh. They sound so cozy.
I know, that's my vibe.
Yay, thank you.
Give me all the sweetness.
That is super exciting. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed it, Slime and Slashers. Thanks for joining us and adding to the discussion.
Oh, Joanna's got some there too that she's
Thanks for
read.
popping in, Kelsey.
Kelsey, yes.
Part. Have you read that one, Crystal? We Do Not Part by Hong Kong?
I haven't got to that one yet.
Okay.
Nice.
But if you are looking for some more dark, I mean, I definitely can't recommend The Vegetarian enough. It is, but it is
Yeah, I was
very,
expecting you to say the
but it
vegetarian
is
thing.
very dark. But it is very good. So, you know.
That was a Jen read.
So, you know.
You could also read it for We Love Jenny next year because she was a fan of the Vegetarian.
Yeah.
So join us for that too.
Yes.
So I think for me, I have two downloaded. One, I thought I was going to be able to have my iPad read it to me while I'm like immersion reading it, but it's only a Libby book. It's not a Kindle book. So I have Tower by Myung Hoon Bae. I keep mispronouncing.
I've seen that.
Yeah. It's a sci-fi story. It's a sci-fi short stories. And so, but they do have another book that is available on Kindle. So I might switch to that one because I really need that immersion reading in order to read quickly. So, but anyway, I downloaded this and I was planning for it to be my next one. But I also downloaded for nighttime reading. Since I need something that I can immersion read for nighttime, I also just downloaded At Dusk by Hwang So-kyung. So I'm so excited for my next Hwang So-kyung because he is just such a beautiful writer. So yes, that's what I have on the horizon. And you have a good friend then in Crystal.
Can I shout out 2 weird books? So if people are looking for weird books.
Please. You're the queen of weird. I appreciate your weird recommendation.
One is The New Seoul Park Jelly Massacre. I read this last year. It is very strange. It's by Cho Yeon. And it is about this, it's an amusement park where people are getting passed out these little jelly candies and then it turns them into blobs and the story goes from there. It's very strange and weird.
What's the title of that again?
The New Seoul Park Jelly Massacre by Cho Yeon, Yeeun. It's a very strange, a bit of dark. There is some body. There's a bit of body horror because it talks about how these people are forming into blobs and their body changing into a blob. Very strange. Also, I recommend Walking Practice by Do Ki Min. Very strange one about this alien who is living in living here on Earth, and he's trying to accommodate his body. Who he's also kind of a large amorphous blob sort of thing, but he can like transform into a human type shape. But he takes practice, which hence the name Walking Practice. But he finds that the best way to sustain himself is by eating humans. He's tried other things, but humans are really what he prefers. And so
Right, I
we see how he brings in the humans to his life, and how he's trying to adjust life as this alien on Earth. So if you're looking for some weird stuff, those are really very good ones.
That feels very like Men in Black.
It's a great Morrison's, Crystal.
Yeah, I enjoyed them.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, ladies. I really appreciated this. This was so fun. And we are going to be having some more live shows for ktropeathon. So we hope you'll join us for those and some other events in Tiffany's Discord. So we have the calendar. I don't know if it's in the description, but I will also put that in the comments along with Crystal's Discord. And if you're watching this on replay, let us know your thoughts as well. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. So thank you guys so much, and see you next time. Thank you. And thank you again to everybody who is up here talking and sharing their favorites. So, really appreciate it.
Thank you.